creating the opportunities for or the conditions for jobs and opportunities to be there, creating an environment where people are looked after fairly, and you can work and be treated, in a workplace which is progressive, and at the same time equipping our people so that they can actually step into that workplace and operate effectively as well. So that, I would say, would be largely the responsibility going forward. And whatever it takes, you will continue to adjust as long as you're able to meet those things. Then that becomes a passport and a foundation for people to, I guess, fulfill their aspirations.
Enrichment at a young age, I hope, builds in them the drive to continue to better themselves when they grow up and they become workers that contribute to our economy. And this whole motivation and drive to improve, to do better, must not stop the moment they enter the labour market. And enrichment, augmentation, of what they undergo in their schools, what parents send kids for in supplementary classes, I hope is reflects and manifests a practice of wanting to do better, wanting to improve, which I hope imbues in them a spirit of lifelong learning, a spirit of continuing to improve themselves.
In terms of re-employment of older workers, we have then been looking at how do we help workers do this meaningfully, in a way that is good for their organizations and it's good for them. It doesn't necessarily always mean staying in the same job. It could mean transitioning to something which people want to do at a different sort of stage in their career. For people who are in sort of frontline work, which might involve many hours of standing, or they may want to transition to a slightly different job that doesn't require such sort of physical exertion.
The modern economies are marked by what Schumpeter called creative destruction. It's part of the DNA of, if you like, the modern capitalistic system, where innovation and insurgence disrupt, and disruptive technologies basically replace industries. So if you remember pager systems, right? 20 years ago we had pager systems, but nobody carries a pager now, and those who are producing pagers have all but obsolete. Handphones is the same thing, but it's no longer a handphone. It's really a device that is your personal assistant, and so on and so forth. So this issue of how do you prepare Singaporeans, not only in terms of their education, because I was in education when they are young, for these various different challenges. And when I was in education, I remember that this was also the focus. People were saying, well, it's not enough to be good in mathematics, science, geography, history, art, because when you go for a job, rarely do people ask you, how good is your maths, how good is your geography, did you get A, did you get B, they know the results are there. But more and more employers were saying, I want to see, even for first time entrance into the labour force, some record that he understands what challenges are. He tried something which was outside his comfort zone. He could manage people, he has communication skills, so what we call life skills.
You need to spend enough time on the job, enough years on the job to acquire true expertise, whatever the job. And I think that too has to be part of our culture, about staying on course and wanting to master something rather than hopping to the next opportunity that comes about because the employer promised you something extra. You might gain in the short term, but you lose out in terms of the real acquisition of expertise that helps you and helps society in the long term.